Good day to you, Aries. Welcome to Meenakshi Tarot. This is your reading for the 30th of October to the 6th of November. So as per normal, Aries, some cards just jumped up here with the message for you. So this is a collective reading for collective Aries energy. So if this reading is not resonating with you, then please look at your moon, your Venus, and your rising. Remember, we are all energy beings and we operate on a certain frequency, so we are going to see what frequency is vibrating today for this reading that is coming through for this period, 30th of October to the 6th of November. So let us see what's going on here. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank those of you that have subscribed to my channel. I really do appreciate that. And those of you that are just watching, thank you so much for watching. Okay, and the other card that had flipped over was the Four Pentacles. So, as we see, your cards have come up in a reverse position. It's almost as though there has been a little bit of adversity in your situations right now. And we need to be aware that reverse cards also have their own meanings and their own messages for you. Okay, I just had another look at my calendar. It seems like it is the 31st of October to the 6th of November. This year is just going by so quickly, isn't it, Aries? I'm looking at your cards here, and there seems to be some of you are going through some situations. We see water energy coming up here, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. You could have this in your chart as well. We are also seeing Libra, Aquarius energy coming through here. We are also seeing Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius energy coming through here. And we are seeing Capricorn energy coming through in this reading. So some of you are dealing with a little bit of stinginess and selfishness. Could be yourself, could be others around you. Could also be a situation where there is a lot of action that is required from you, a lot of news and, things that are requiring you to move forward, to make some changes. It could be, you have to deal with situational problems where there is this spiteful attitude. And be mindful, Aries, that it's not yourself, because there's a lot of change that is required. And some of you could be starting to be a bit very nostalgic about the past, thinking a lot about the past and having visions or hopes or dreams about the past that may not exactly be very true. But we see there's also the situation where promises that are made that are not kept, where you are feeling quite isolated. You could be dealing with situations that you are finding very emotionally overwhelming. Relationships that are supposed to have worked out is not working very well. Love situations are becoming stressful. You've got to be so mindful of either yourself or somebody else becoming like a bully, behaving in this manner where there's a lot of harshness, there's a lot of harsh words. Things are not looking to be going very favorable. You could be worrying unnecessarily or worrying necessarily, because there's this bit of instinct where there's this action required of you to move towards something. But you need to also remember that it's a bit about the past coming back into your present. And as much as you are realizing that transformation is needed for you to move forward, you are dealing in your present situation with a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress. Some of you could be feeling very excluded from situations. Some of you might be feeling very difficult to hold on to things, and things are just slipping through your fingers. And there's a lot of issues that is happening. Sometimes you may be having a situation where, because you are knowing somebody for a long period of time, they are taking advantage of the relationship and they are trying to manipulate your emotions, or they are manipulating you emotionally with regards to decisions that needs to be made. And with regards to moving forward, it's keeping you stuck because you are dealing with this level of stinginess from people that you didn't otherwise expect. And this is keeping you in a bondage situation where you are already stuck and feeling very isolated, and like I said, feeling as though you are being left out of situations. Okay, let's see what fell out here. Let's see what has fallen out. A little bit of apathy is setting into some of you with regards to what has been happening. And some of you are having a blended family situation. But I'm going to draw some more cards here. Let's see what is here. That is what's going on here. There's some situations that's unfolding. You've got the Four of Swords on the Four of Swords. So that in itself is a message for you. Some of you needing to take a moment from a love situation which is seemingly, you know, okay, let's draw some more cards before I start prattling on here with you, Aries, because this is not really very straightforward. Okay, let's see what is happening here. Aries, what is happening here for you? Okay, Aries, what is happening here for you? Okay. So we are seeing you in a situation where you are feeling a bit disappointed with this. There's an expectation. Okay, give me a moment here. There is an expectation of something that you want. You are not willing to look at other options. You are focused on only one outcome. And you're not realizing that there can be other outcomes for you. And this is why you are finding your situation so difficult. You are finding yourself dealing with selfishness and difficult situations. Some of you could be facing a situation where even your relationship, you'd rather step away from it and be on your own and move towards something where you can think about yourself and where a relationship has really come to its end. Some of you are facing this situation. Some of you could have been in a relationship where the other person was very different from yourself, or it could be a mixed race relationship, but it was initially a very happy situation, but you are starting to realize that you have the power within yourself to manifest the future that you want for yourself, and you don't need to put up with this constant deception that's going on behind your back, where there's a lot of dishonesty, there's a lot of situations that are not flowing in your best interest. Some of you could have really taken a lot on your shoulders. You could have burdened yourself with a lot of responsibilities. And even though you're feeling this left out situation, you need to embrace it. You need to embrace this as a time for you to rest, because sometimes it's best if people just leave you out of situation. They're actually doing you a favor and not a disfavor, because you need a moment to rest. You need a moment to think. You need a moment to recoup, to see where is it that you need to be. Remember, an adverse situation doesn't need to be an adverse situation. It's the way that you perceive it, Aries. It's the way that you are looking at it. So if people don't want to talk to you, they don't want to be your friend, they don't want to keep you in the collective, take this time to heal yourself, because you need a bit of healing. There has been a bit of situations that have happened. Some of you could be stuck in the past, or having a very nostalgic view of the past, of a situation from the past. Could have been promises made in the past that have not materialized and that you are hoping will materialize in the now. But you do need to realize that you do need to move forward. You need to start to have a different perspective about situations. You do need to see your connectedness with others. You do need to see that even though things haven't worked out the way you had expected, and there was a lot more responsibility for you, that in order for change to happen and for happiness to happen, you need to realize that you do need to form a collaboration or union with somebody, or a group, or finding your tribe, or finding a collective of people that are on the same page as you, and not somebody who is looking at things differently from the way that you are looking at it. It's very important that you create a situation and a relationship, or even move on or into something new that is going to be more on the same page as you, instead of trying to force something from the past to keep staying together, keep to materialize into something more. It's not going to do that. It is what it is, and you need to accept this. You need to surrender to what it is. It is the way it is, and no matter how much you try to change it, you can't. There's nothing much that you can do. So you need to accept what has happened. You need to accept where you're at, and in order for you to realize that you have created a lot of these burdens for yourself, you do need to learn to let go. You need to rest. You need to be with people that want to be with you, that want to create this relationship with you, so that want to grow with you, that want to, where there's a future. You need to look at where are you going to be, and you may need to change a lot of the way you have been doing things, Aries. So there is this collective energy calling through that a drastic change is needed here. And you need to realize that you have this infinite power within yourself to manifest the kind of future that you do want for yourself. So it's important that you bring this into consideration for yourself. Interesting time ahead for you. The World card. Some of you could be thinking of traveling, maybe taking a trip somewhere. Immigration for others. Others might be thinking about projects that they're busy working on. Okay, you've got Page of Swords. Be very careful of contracts that you are engaging in, and also be careful of manipulation. There seems to be some manipulation that has happened in some of your lives. Okay, interesting cards coming up here. We are seeing interesting energies coming up here for you. Okay, I just dropped this entire batch. I'm going to shuffle this again because this literally slipped out of my hands. So we are seeing terrible betrayals that are coming through. Some of you made choices and I think it's like you betrayed yourself, because you could have been imparting gossip and malice as well yourself. You're seeing a situation of gossiping and malice that you could have partaken in. We see energies coming through in this reading as Libra, Aquarius, Gemini energies coming through in this reading. We are seeing Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo coming through in this reading as well. So situations have unfolded. You could be dealing with young people. A situation with a young person that has made you feel very, very burdened. Somebody, you've taken a lot on your plate. You yourself could be somebody who's very hardworking and wanting to see yourself in a positive place sometime. But there's a bit of chaos, there's heartbreak, there's a failure to communicate, there's a breakup in a relationship, a situationship, misunderstanding needs and wants, and getting involved in gossip and in losing your power and losing yourself, and realizing that the choices you've been rushed and pushed into making decisions and choices. There's been arguments and there's been some negative drama that has happened. You may have felt as though you have won in certain situations and that you are in a very wonderful place, but at what cost, Aries? You have been pushing and quite forceful, and you picked up your sword, so to say, and you have been using the sword and not realizing that the sword cuts both ways, and you have hurt yourself in the process with the choices that you have made and decisions that you have made. And you're finding yourself in a very difficult place right now because you do have cooperation. Be aware that you do have cooperation, but you need to be very mindful that some of this cooperation that you have could be spiteful cooperation. If somebody is feeding into rumors and gossip, that is not helping you. If they are gossiping about you, or they're causing you to get involved in all kinds of rumors and gossip, or bad-mouthing people, be mindful of that, because that's not going to lead you anywhere. It's going to put you in a very bad space, because at the end of the day, it's very easy for people to say, you said this and you said that. So you've got to be mindful of the company you keep. You've got to be mindful of your relationships, and being forced and rushed into situations as well, especially with somebody who's very different from yourself. You don't want to get caught up in things where you're not ready. While you may think that you want to be in a partnership, you need to ask yourself that question: do I really want to commit to this? Is this where I want to be? You need to think about it. Some of you might be thinking about moving towards a situation. If there's a situation from the past, there's somebody from the past where some of you are wanting to move towards the future with them. There's some of you, there's the past is calling. There's a regret situation in the past that some of you are having. There's something from the past, but there's also, it's as though you've left your heart in the past. Aries, you left your heart in the past, and it's as though some of you have turned your back on certain situations, or people have turned their back on you, and you are feeling very brokenhearted. So there's a lot of things where you need to sit down and actually take stock of what has happened, because there's a lot of situations that have happened here, a lot of things that have happened here that is very complicated in some of your lives. I may suggest that some of you should consider going for a tarot reading with somebody else to get you a little bit more clarity, because like I said, this energy that's coming through, it's a lot of some of you not wanting to face what's going on in your lives. You know what's going on, but you're trying to avoid it, but you're not avoiding the pain. You can't seem to get away from it. You don't need to be in a stalemate situation. You don't need to be in a situation of such disconnection. So you need to have a look at yourself and the choices that you are making, Aries. Okay, let's see, what do we have here for you, Aries? Angel of Balance in reverse. You've got rest and relaxation. Angel of Strength, envy, strategy, and Garden and the Gate. See, a lot of this has come through that you are out of balance with yourself right now, Aries. You are not looking at yourself the way you're supposed to look at yourself. You're not viewing yourself and your actions and your choices. You need to start to allow yourself to quiet your mind, to quiet your spirit, to quiet yourself from the inside out. Maybe looking at meditation practices, taking a moment to rest, maybe stop thinking so much. You are overthinking situations, but you need to realize that in order to do this, you need to allow yourself to be calm. You need to allow yourself to find your strength again and to focus on your own wisdom and your own strength. And you know decisions that you need to make, and you need to focus on that. You need to also realize that envy is not going to get you anywhere. You know, you may think that other people are having it better off than you. Maybe they've just learned to cope with their situations a bit better than yourself, or they have learned to do without certain things that you are not prepared to compromise on. You remember something. What makes one person content doesn't work for another person. One person's misery could be another person's heaven. One person's hell could be another person's paradise. It's all a matter of perception, and this is how you need to look at things. You need to take a step back, Aries. Look at your own situation and be very grateful for what it is that you have in your life, because you have a lot more than most people do and not a lot less. And this is what you need to start taking stock of where you are at and what is it that you have. You need to have a very strategic way about how you are processing things. Maybe keep a journal, but see how you, and be objective. If you're keeping a journal, look at your journal, see what it is that you're writing. You know, you can't stay stuck in the mindset that you have been. You need to move out of this mindset, because this mindset where you are allowing yourself to be stuck in is not going to help you very much. It's just going to keep you blinded to what is actually going on in your situation. So I hope that this gives you a little bit of clarity and understanding that you do need to move on, you do need to move forward, and it's important, Aries, that you allow yourself to rise up from this apathy that some of you are in. You need to, you know, allow yourself this freedom to change. Okay? Allowing yourself. Okay. I noticed there has been a lot of people, some people have messaged me about this privately, and there is a collective thinking, you know, there's this entitlement attitude is, oh, why must things be so hard for me? Why does everybody else have it easier? Why does so-and-so have it easy? But, you know, when you look at it, what is easy? And what is this entitlement? And, you know, life is full of challenges, Aries, and we need to face these challenges. And as much as we don't like it, we do need to face it. And it's not always easy, the things that we have to face. Different people have different challenges. You don't know what's going on behind closed doors. Always remember that. Anyway, let us see here. What do we have more for you? What more do we have for you? Okay. Desert passage. You need to trust the divine plan. You have miracles. Expect wondrous energy to emerge. Ascending the mountain. So this is interesting. That, you know what, you need to trust that there is a divine plan in place, and you just need to move towards this divine plan, and you need to know that you can expect wonderful miracles to happen. You have to believe in miracles, you know. You have to. And, you know, even though you may feel as though you are going through a desert right now and nothing seems to be working out for you, you need to stay focused, believing, trusting yourself, trusting your instincts, and believing that you are where you're supposed to be, and keep moving forward on your path. You may feel like you're alone. You may feel like you like Moses wandering around in the desert. You know, you may be feeling like that, but you've got a mountain to ascend, Aries. You need to trust and you need to believe and you need to look at the good and not at the negative. If you are somebody that's prone to look at the negative aspect of things, this is calling upon you to have a more positive mindset. You know, bad things happen all the time. You know, bad things happen all the time to everybody. And we just need to be mindful, you know, about situations, and what's bad for one person may not be bad for you, you know. We must be very, very, very mindful. So let's be conscious of ourselves in our situation. So let's draw one more card here for you, Aries, one more grounding card. I must apologize for the quality of the video if it's very dark. We are having load shedding again, and it does affect the lighting, obviously. So yeah, there's no electricity again. So, and we have perspective, and this is just exactly what we were talking about. You know, the reality is none of it matters. You know, none of it matters. And you know, the way you think things are supposed to be and the way things actually are, it really just doesn't matter. Because we get so caught up in our heads, and this is what this card is saying. You know, you get so caught up in your head, in your emotions, in your feelings, and all you need to do is take a moment to pause, just step back, just like how you zoom out with the camera to get the bigger picture. Yeah, you need to do the same thing. You need to find common ground with yourself, with your others. You need to find common ground within your own mind, your spirit, and your soul. Find yourself in that place of peace and acceptance. You need to accept yourself, and you need to accept your situations. You may not be where you want to be, but you are where you are right now, and you need to learn to accept where you are. The only way you can move on is not about saying, people mistake acceptance for meaning defeat. It's not defeat. It's like right now, the traffic light is red, you can't move forward, you need to stand still. It doesn't mean that your car has stopped. It doesn't mean that. It just means that you have stopped at the red light. And when it changes color, you will carry on moving. So right now, you need to realize that you are going through certain situations, and you just have to weather the storm. And you have to just find yourself, and you just have to be good and kind to yourself and be fair to those around you as well. Do not assume things. Do not jump to conclusions. Be accountable for your own actions and for your own reactions. So, Aries, it's a bit of a complicated, like I said, some of you may need to book a reading with somebody. Some of you may need to take out your own cards and have a look at your cards and get some direction. But you really do need to align yourself. I hope you have enjoyed this reading. Please remember to subscribe to my channel, to like my videos, and to share them with your friends. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.